Okay, hello. Here I am, late at night, after everyone is asleep. That way I don't have to have any other noises going on around me, hopefully, besides maybe a fan behind me. Anyway, so I'm here today doing the just really quick live comm about how I edited the Bison video. I literally just upgraded to Davinci Resolve 18. I have the studio version. I highly recommend Davinci Resolve for any of you who are new to editing or have not edited before and are thinking about it. It's free, or the base version is free. I have the paid version that comes with GPU acceleration, etc. There's no monthly payments like Adobe. You don't have to shell out like $80 a month or whatever. But yeah, you can use the free version. Anyway, so here I am with the Bison video. This one's going to be a little bit different because the Bison video actually took me a long time to make. Um, so if I go over here to the timeline page, you can't actually see, but this is the intro is actually based on a Men in Black video, or the intro to the Men in Black show. It aired in like the late 90s, if I remember correctly. And so that's what all this is. And here, I am gonna mute the track so that way you guys, me skipping through here doesn't annoy the hell out of you. But all of this was done by me in SFM, and I will jump in SFM here soon, uh, just so I can cover that for you guys. So literally all of this, so all these shots are made in SFM, but these are actually made in Fusion. So if I decompose in place here, oh no, not render in place. Whoops, decompose in place using clips only, you can see here that there's a couple Fusion compositions. One is the MIB logo. One is this little thing here. I think the number, this is actually a randomized element that I created for this video. So it'll create random like letters to like go by. Um, and then and then obviously you have the little number here. So let me just undo what I did there. But yeah, and so all of these I have like little animations on them and all that. It's actually not too difficult, if I'm gonna be honest. It was difficult to think of on how to do it, but then as soon as I got it done, it made sense. So anyway, so yeah, this is just a SFM. This is SFM. Again, this is Fusion. So actually, one thing I should mention is so this hair right here in SFM, it's labeled as like Fed hair. If I remember correctly, it's the spook specs. And so the hair and the sunglasses are just attached to each other. You cannot unattach them. So instead of having me just try to have him put on one pair of sunglasses over and over, I thought it would be much funnier if I just went ahead and made him put on three pairs of glass sunglasses. So that's what I did. So he puts on one, already has one on, puts on a second one, and then puts on a third one. So this is actually going to be interesting. I'll open up the SFM here in a bit. But this is actually completely broken, absolutely broken in SFM, and you'll see why. So this I is just SFM. So these are all individual. If you missed these, so I have little bread monster. These are kind of done with in here. There's a few ways that you can do color keying. You can either do it in here in the paint page or the color page, the paint page, Jesus. But you can also go over here and go to I think it's effects and then look up oh, not 3D. Yeah, the 3D keyer, and I'll show you in a minute, but it's pretty good. I highly recommend it. So I have a bread monster, little scout, xenomorph scout, literally just a pyro. Gralian spy, the area 451 pyro, a spy crab, more SFM, more SFM, more SFM. Um, and then I think over here, yeah, I have. This is actually potentially going to be the Halloween video later this year. So I just have Big Joey and the Corona Australia set. I think box art. I don't know if I have any other references in here besides Big Joey. Yeah, no, that's it. The last one's just like a generic medic girlfriend loadout. Anyway, so if I go over here, so obviously you guys already know about the gameplay here. And so let's see here. Oh yeah, I guess I should show you. The down here I have all my audio tracks and all that. So I'm having the page flip sound play at the same time as this triangle comes down. And so I'm trying to do that a bit more cuz all like the editors that I am inspired by have really good sound audio cues whenever they are changing scenes or something is happening on screen. And I'm trying to go out of my way and do that as well. Because it gives, while this is a visual aid right here, I guess technically, the audio here helps with that as well, transitioning to a new scene. And there is something it's something I want to improve on for audio here, um, where I feel like I struggle with finding audio. Some of this was like fit in well, but it just always feels like I'm doing it wrong. Regardless, anyway, so these are you will actually see these more often. So these are just SFMs, green screened of weapon rotations, and in case you can't tell, they are actually the exact same animation. So I created it for one item or one axis helper, and so that way I can export it to any weapon that I would like. And so this animation, I don't know if any of you are not old enough to know, this is the Quake like item rotation. So I went ahead and I looked at the Quake item rotation and I copied it. Obviously, I couldn't like Control C, Control V it. I had to manually animate it in SFM, but it's about 2 seconds long. And so all the ones here that are longer are actually just rendered to 2 seconds, but I set them in a way that they are repeating, like they have a perfect loop. And so, yeah, so your weapons, items in the game will like kind of bounce up and down and rotate. And so, but yeah, let me keep going here. I'm trying to think of anything interesting here. So these transitions, I have actually, if you can see here, there's also, I don't know what this is, but there is a little in the background. You can still see the like the gameplay down here, but then as soon as it cuts off, it just goes black. Or well, yeah, as you can see up here, it's black. And so all I've done here to bring down these three is I have just all of them just edge wiped down, and then but I have them like if I go to the video here, they are cropped. And so I have them roughly about a third each, where this one is on the bottom layer, so I don't realistically need to crop this at all. But I did anyway just to kind of have it fit, and that way we have three distinct lines here. And yeah, so and then this clear cut one just comes across. So all of these, as I was saying, these are all the same exact animation, just exported to different items. So that way it kind of makes the editing process easier because I am not an animator. uh, I maybe one day, but it is not something that I have really enjoyed. But it's something that I felt that have needed to do to kind of increase the quality of my videos, which is a shame, but maybe one day I can have it go out to someone else. But right now it's just a one-man show. Um, this is a here. Let me decompose in place using clips only. So these are a bunch of different text here. As you can see, you have the little text coming in here. Um, but one thing that I'm doing here as well is having them be written on. So you can see the write on right here. Actually, I think it's this one. Or sorry, uh, I'm not I'm not doing this very well. But I have them write on, and then I also or yeah, here you go. You can see how it starts at 0, and then that's the end where it has finished. And then I can also have it. I'm trying to have everything like have this break apart, and now that this is breaking apart, everything here is being moved down. So these kind of move down, and yeah, and now it looks like this thing has made the new space. Whereas all this is doing is just writing it on. Whereas everything else is just moving. So everything else is just moving, and then it makes space so it can be written on. Anyway, let's see here. Trying to think of anything like super interesting. Um, Oh yeah, if you're editing, highly recommend getting B-roll. I kind of need more. I did a lot for this video, and I spent probably way too much time getting B-roll for this video. But if you ever can get a visual aid for your viewer, and it doesn't like, I guess technically the whole video could be visual aid, but at that point it's too much. But if you ever want to emphasize a point, I think getting B-roll for it is always something that you should do. Because when I'm talking about picking up ammo, because like the unlimited ammo on the Bison means basically nothing because everyone that you kill is going to drop ammo. And unless you have an engineer that you are specifically leaving ammo out for, you can just take it. And there's always ammo next to health, or almost always next to health. Let's see here. Um, this right here, same animation, just brought down a little bit. It zoomed out, or zoomed in, I guess, technically speaking, whichever way you want to say it. So it's smaller, and then I have all of these kind of just come in on just a triangle rotation with a sound effect, and it's good to go. So these adjustment clips, if you're new to Davinci Resolve, and this is the first time you've seen anything of Davinci Resolve, so what you can do here is so right now you see how I blur this page here, or this layer, and is what this is. And so everything, like, this is not blurred, the shotgun, but like the background is, right? So adjustment clips is something that you can do instead of actually toggling and editing this gameplay right here. You can stick in an adjustment clip and do anything to it. So, and it'll change all of the layers that are below it. So for example, if I go ahead and I grab an adjustment clip here, put this on top right here, right now it's done nothing. But if I go ahead and I don't know, let me think, if I grab an effect and I don't know, edge detect this. See, it's changed everything below it. And this is actually, I love this effect. So, I mean, I'm going to use it for a video not too long for now. So so it'll change everything that's below it. And that way, if you ever like, I don't like this, you delete it, you've changed nothing. You don't need to go through hours of progress, or maybe you want to copy it and use it for something else. So you just Control C, Control V it onto something else, and you're good to go. Um, anyway, I forgot I had that little text. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of anything really notable that anyone would ask questions about on how I did. Um, oh, this. So as I did in the last video for the gunboats, so what I'm doing here is I have it's like dying, but I have a like really crappy laptop. And so what this is this isn't like another player. This is just me. Um, and so I have me and myself where I'm trying to create B-roll of this one thing, and I'm going into a competitive server. If you've seen my competitive, how to set up competitive servers, so I go to a serve me server. If you've seen that video, there are there are a few different server hosters, but the most common in North America are Quixelite and Serve Me. And so, but the thing is whenever you play a match, there's this thing created called a demo, and it is sort of like a replay. Not really. Replays are better to my understanding, but basically no TF2 server that I have ever played on that I can think of uses like supports replay or replays in general, which is a shame. And I don't know how much like CPU horsepower it takes, or how much like how intensive it is to support replays, but I feel like if I owned a server, I would like it to support replays. That way I could, get footage like this, or get like B-roll. But again, most I don't think any server I've ever seen supports replays. Like if I tick the support replays button in the community server browser, it just turns to nothing. Regardless, so I went into a demo and I recorded myself doing this. And so I jump at the heavy, and then I go to my laptop and I look at myself at like 5 FPS, and then I kill my kill me right here. And so for this little bit of footage here, not as fancy as the gunboat's like jumping damage example, but there's not but this is what this is, the second layer here. So this second layer is actually literally just the health. It's the same thing as the gunboats video, just not as like prevalent. It's just in the corner here. See, like you can see me move this around. And all this is if I go to the fusion page here, you can see that I just drew a polygon. I literally just traced down here, traced this, the my health. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. No one in the video is ever gonna notice it. And then I just zoom it in right here. You can see I increased it to 2, but if you see if I increase it, it'll just go off to the bottom left. But yeah, I increased it to 2. I was gonna put it in the middle, but then I decided it was kind of blocking the view. It wasn't like the gunboats video where I kind of had it like sectioned off. And so I decided to have it like this. Maybe I could have done like a triple layer kind of thing, but I think this was fine. And that way you can kind of see what I mean when I'm talking about like you do damage to yourself and then you get over here and then you just take more damage. And I just timed it up to what I was doing in game. And so yeah, you can see I land with 86 health, which is way too low to be doing a bomb. And it's not something you would probably do anyway, even with the shotgun. But the problem is like this is me more talking about how spamming with the Bison doesn't really lead to anything unless like say you get a random crit, um, or you get crits Krieg boosted, but that will rarely ever lead to anything. So it's just like spamming with the shotgun, right, isn't really worth it. But spamming with the Bison also is not really worth it. So like it's one of something that like players commonly do, and it's something that I see very often whenever people are trying to make videos about the Bison or whatever, especially when people are trying to make videos on different items. I see them use the item either incorrectly or force themselves to use an item and play in a way that they never would. And it happens the most with the Bison. I recently, after I made this video, I went ahead and because one thing I hate, I always do to myself is I always after I'm done with watching a video, I'm like, okay, who else made this video? And I will look around and after I'm done, I'll be like, oh man, they did it better or they did it worse. And there was one that I saw, I think there was one or two that I saw, one that did it better than me, I think. Um, but maybe wasn't as informative, but I think the editing was better. But then in here, but the problem is almost all of them do this where they just spam it. But again, this is actually this is actually in a personal server. This is no like going on to a you know on a demo or anything like that like this. This is just a personal server. I just turned off my HUD and then spam the cart. The reason why you can see the cart here is because I turned on tournament mode. If you're ever running out of time to record something, what you can do is you can type in here. Let me put it on screen. You can put in your console, put in MP underscore tournament 1, then hit enter, and then it'll remove the time limit on your server. You just have to do it before the server starts because it'll be like 30, 29, it'll count down. If you can put that in before it hits 0, it'll have it where both sides need to ready up, and now you have infinite time to jump around or do whatever. Like, so for example, if you're ever practicing like a rollout, like the upward rollout or something like that, or say the process rollout, or maybe you're getting ready for sixes, something like that, then that's something you'd want to put in kind of, and then keep going back to spawn or wherever you're trying to roll out from. Anyway, so that's how I got this. Let's see here. What is this? Oh yeah, this was Bison crits. There was another much better version of this that I had, but I wasn't recording on OBS, which is something I've transitioned to. I don't know if you can see on the bottom here. I'm recording on OBS right now. And I used to always record on Shadowplay on NVIDIA or AMD Relive. But the main issue that I have is that there's only 2 options. You can either A, have all audio on one track, which you can kind of see there's 2 tracks right here, but there's way more. So these I'm actually using all of these tracks. But if I bring in like a new gameplay right here, you can see I have 3 tracks right here. But I record to 4 tracks in OBS, generally speaking. One track that has I use Firefox, so it tracks Firefox. I use Discord, so that's Firefox on one channel, Discord on one channel, my game on one channel, and then my mic on one channel. That way, if I'm either saying something stupid or talking to a roommate or whatever, or I can cut that out. And then, or maybe my teammates are being really loud. I can cut that out. Or maybe I'm listening to music and I don't want to mute the gameplay, right? So like, say right here, I'm listening to music, right? I can just cut that out, cut out that channel, and I'm good to go. Whereas if I was recording on Shadowplay or AMD Relive, I couldn't do that. It's unfortunate, but if you, let me see, if I, oh, I'm gonna inception this if I bring this over here. So I'll try not to. But if any of you have any questions on setting that up, I can make a really small video on how to do it or how to set it up. So this is the same thing as getting that footage earlier. So all this is again me going to the server, turning off my HUD, and then turning on tournament mode, and then just looking across here. Just I'm just flying to the left and right and like flying backwards, because if you fly, you can have this like straight line, whereas if you walk, you'll kind of get that bobble. I think you can turn it off, but I don't remember, so I just fly. Let's see here. Oh, these are just text that flies in and out. Nothing really special there. Oh, these are again. This is just a different SFM that I use, that I created. It's literally the exact same thing as the other one, except it goes up and down. That's basically it. Anything fancy here? Oh, there's some text that I used. Nothing really fancy here. This is just a solid color. This color, obviously that's white, and then this is the color of the background of like the stats. Like whenever you grab like an item stats, like over here, that's just this color. And then I just have them pull up like they're displaced. If I go over here to settings, so you can see that they're displaced lower, so I can do that, right? And then because it'll be 2560 by 1440, so I just put it down to where I kind of like it, and then have it push up. That's basically it. There is a weird like rendering issue like right here in the corner. I don't know if any of you caught it when that like right before the rescue ranger goes up. There's a weird rendering issue right here, and I don't know why. It just is there. Oh, this is what I was saying though about it repeating. So this and this are the exact same clip, but since it perfectly repeats, no one's ever gonna know that I didn't, that I only rendered say 8 seconds of it instead of 15 seconds or however much I used. This is just text. Any interesting things here? Shout out to Grape Juice, by the way, for telling me about Grape's video. In case any of you don't know, Grape Juice was and is, I guess, my soldier mentor. He's a high advanced player. He is on the second placed advanced team right now. Hopefully, he'll move his way up into Invite next season. I know he's been kind of wanting it for a while. So I hope he was the best roamer in Invite in advanced last season. So hopefully he keeps it up. And so I've been asking him just a few questions here and there, about like, hey, do you know if anyone has done anything with this or whatever? So this right here, these are basically this is basically the exact same thing I did earlier, where I had like things come down and pull out, but the text here is actually just the actual TF2 text. You can download the TF2 text. And so what I did was actually I took a picture of the how I got the like the red and blue to be exact is I took a screenshot of it and then zoomed way in, and I like took like an eyedropper and then got it. That's how I have like the right or like somewhat similar, like the close enough red and blue that the stats show. So let me see if I can decompose in place. So this is just text, and then let me do this one is probably better. Uh, Decompose in place. Yeah, so you can see it's the exact same thing. Again, this is repeating, so that's just one set of things just repeating over and over, and the rest of it's just text. The all this is just a shape. This is just a square with rounded edges, and yeah, and that's just the background. If you go way down here and I open clip attributes or decompose in place, yeah, the very bottom thing should be literally like the background. So you know it's nothing too fancy, I don't think. Um, Excuse me. I'll try to remember to cut that out. Anyway, Yeah, in the end here, this is just an old, very, very, very old competitive. Before I think when I was a newcomer, this was like week one or week two or something. We were just messing around talking about Sunshine, and we played like a little 3v3, and I was just the guy outside. Not too much to talk about this time on the editing side. If there are any specific questions that you have about something that I did, um, go ahead and ask. Oh, I guess I should go over here. I can go to a different timeline as well. So like the weapon rotation. So when I was talking about the 3D keyer, so if I go to 3D, I can bring this onto here and I go to effects, and then you can see that there's different things that I can click, right? But then what I want to do is go over here, open the fusion overlay, click on this, click on that, and it's got that RGB, right? And it's not perfect, right? You can see it's not perfect right here. So what you want to do is first you want to click soft, because there will be lines on like the edges here, and then it doesn't matter. You will see what I mean. So if you have those little edges, like if you like zoom in or like do that, you might see, perfect. So you can see right here. So what you can do is, so if you have it flat, it's a bit more pronounced. So you can do soft, and then you can just change the softness, and now you're like good to go, right? But anyway, but if I go over here to effects, what you want to do here is you don't need to mess with anything else. Literally just increase the despel, and now it's like perfect. I mean, look at that. Look, it's really good. And the despel option in Davinci Resolve is incredibly good. I didn't realize how good it was until this video actually. The last video, it was kind of good, and then I didn't like use it really correctly. I was using the D-Spill was kind of new at the time. Well, sort of the new D-Spill was new, or hadn't been out yet, I don't think, for the Gunboats video. And then the new D-Spill came out, and I was like, all right, don't mess with it. And then in here, it was just, it's amazing, and I'm gonna use it for everything. I'm trying to think of now. I think that's it. Oh, these maps you might want to know. So this is Koth product. It's just the pro version of Viaduct. I'm not really a fan of the map, but I just needed a map to be on the left. This map is CP Villa. It is a villa, a 5 CP map that was played in sixes, and I really enjoy the map. And the only issue that I have with it is second. Second could be better, but I hope it keeps working on it. I hope the mapper comes back and like kind of addresses it. Villa could be an amazing map. I love the mid. I love the last. Second just needs work. And then man base here is also a map that has been tested, but it has not been any season yet. I know it will be tested again later, but it's just a 5 CP map on the moon. That's pretty much it. And then down here, this is Koth Clear Cut. This is probably my favorite King of the Hill map. This or Koth Bagel, which is, if you guys know Cauldron from Halloween. This is Bagel is the non-Halloween version of that. Bagel was first, Cauldron was made for it, and Cauldron was added to the game. Just like Sunshine and Sinshine. You guys might know those maps that are in the game. Sunshine was added to the game after Sinshine was, but Sunshine was first. Sinshine was just the Halloween version of it. It's the same thing with Bagel and Cauldron. So yeah, Bagel and Clear Cut are probably my favorite 5 CP map or King of the Hill maps like ever actually. Um, yeah, I think that is about it. So now let me go to what I spent so much time on, Source Filmmaker. So if any of you are like done, that's all you wanted to know, you can check out right now. Go ahead and click out of the video. I think that's pretty much all I need to do for editing here. I'm trying to think of anything else. I have a lot of gameplay here, some music that I thought about using and didn't use. Basically, all the music here that I use, I only chose because they're from games I've played recently. This is from P Plus, which I love. This is TF2, Deep Red Galactic, which is great. This is Breath of the Wild, Melee, Halo 2, because Halo is like my favorite game franchise besides uh, TF2, and then Bug Fables, which I played recently. So let me quit this, and now let me go over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and open one of the few. If I go ahead and open, and I'm gonna go over here to, I think I actually did use this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and go to my video folder, then go to my Bison video, and so you can see here that I did a few here. So I have like, this was something I was going to use, so these two, but I might use for another video. But so this one right here is just I think this I don't think this is something I used either. I think this was something I was thinking about using. SFM takes a while to load. But for me, yeah, it isn't actually too bad. I have it on a hard drive. I don't have it on one of my SSDs because I do have an SSD specifically for SFM renders, and it does speed out the render, I think. But it SFM takes up a lot of storage. I have, I think, around 460, 480 or something. It's my 500 gigabyte SATA SSD that I've only used for SFM renders is almost full. And it just from basically doing what I did for the Bison video and just projects for RGL that I'm working on that are mostly done. I've been waiting just for OKs, but I think I'm good, so I'm just gonna let it go. Anyway, I'm surprised this is still loading. Usually I'm about done by now, but that's probably because this is on CP Sunshine. And I guess while I'm here, I will show you something that some of you might want to know. So Sunshine has this issue, and also Bagel has this issue if you port the map to SFM, where for some reason in certain places you will get these like squares and rectangles. Let me show you here. So yeah, I was just using this for something else. This doesn't matter. This. You can fix this by typing mat underscore specular 0 and it'll fix it. You need to hit enter and then you'll need to wait a few minutes. But when you go back, it'll still be there. But then as soon as you move your work camera or your camera, it'll go away. So, but don't render that frame. Anyway, so let me Control O. So this is the one I think that is more continue without saving. Okay, so this is on the green screen map. I don't know if any of you have it. So all this is, if I go over here, so you can see here, as soon as I click the render options, all this is going to go green. So if I go over here and I go and click, so I have rotate, where all this does is it rotates, and then I have this where it rotates and goes up and down. And I just created these for the video. And I've done a lot of other SFM work, but this is what I did just so I could use it for weapons. So if I go ahead and I see this, this is not attached to the up and down. This is attached to the only rotate, right? And so you can see that this rotates with that. And then, so if I go ahead and I go to, I think the Liberty Launcher, this one goes up and down. You get the point. And so it actually, getting these to actually rotate perfectly is pure hell, by the way. I don't know why. I don't really want to know why. But for some reason, SFM will think that the fastest way to do something will always be the same direction. So like say, I assume you can see my mouse. Okay. So say I want this here. Let me go back to 0 and explain. Say I want this to rotate this way, right? For some reason, I will go, say I go halfway and then I want to go the rest of the way. So for some reason, SFM will want to be like, okay, you want to go over here and then you want to go back. And I'm like, no, I want to keep going. So let's go. Let's just assume you want to go. So you're like, okay, so halfway here, I'll make a keyframe right here, and it'll go halfway, and then a fourth of the way through, 3/4 of the way through, I'll have it be right here, and then it'll go here on the last frame, right, and then it'll be fine. No, it'll go here, and it'll snap all the way back, and the main way to fix it is basically to brute force it and keep making keyframes until it eventually gets there. It's really, really, really annoying, but you get the point. So I'm gonna undo everything I just did, just in case I broke anything. Because one thing that I have figured out is you can just open SFM and things will just break sometimes and never work again. And it's I'm trying to avoid that. So that's pretty much how I got that. Let's see here. Engineer shot, Liberty launcher. Let me open this. I do not remember what this is. So let me check. Oh, this is just a shot of the Liberty launcher. Oh yeah, I should show you what I mean, by the way. If I So this is gonna become green in like 3 seconds. Three, two, one. There you go. So surprisingly, the greens, like the D spill on Davinci Resolve, again, it's really good. The I don't know if any of you noticed that the Liberty launcher looks really good in the video. It doesn't look like it's completely like messed up. Oh yeah, by the way, if I do this, then the Liberty launcher looks a bit better. But anyway, so yeah. Ooh, why do I keep shift F1ing? I keep thinking it's resolve. Okay. Any other? Oh yeah, the Bison new folder. Um, me timeline. Probably want to see. Okay, there's the car scene, the door, intro. Continue without saving. So this is where you get to see some of the broken, busted stuff that happened. So there is a model that you can get on the workshop called Soldier Enhanced, and there's a version 3 for it. And basically, you can get a soldier that's in a tux, or he's in a suit, and so it's good for the purposes of this video. I wanted to make another like SFM thing at the end, and I wanted it something, an arrangement to be made for me, but it just didn't work out. And so, uh, because of this, oop, where the heck am I? All right, there we go. So if I come over here, you might be able to see it. So that is just him putting on. So in SFM, very often things will be that are not in the shot will not be animated. So like, oh, hello. So like he's walking forward, but he's not actually walking. It's just him putting on the glasses, and that's it, right? But let me show you. Let me see. So this is Soldier walking, right? You see this? Now, nope. You see this, right? But look at his arms, right? That looks so weird, right? It's just broken because I'm attaching. So what I did, if you directly import an animation from the stock soldier to the enhanced soldier, it just does not work. It just breaks. And I'll show you here in a minute. But you'll get weird stuff like this with his arms, and I don't know why it happens. You can attach item models to them just fine. So what the easy way to do is literally just have the soldier model do something, and then just attach every single bone that is like in common here to each other, and it worked out. Not perfectly, obviously. But is this the one? Oh yeah, here's the one. This is the one you want to see probably. So this, or where am I? There we go. This is the one, or please. There we go. This is the one where you can see him walking. Or imagine he has the hair there. Look at his legs. He just, this is, you know, just look at that. It's just broken, super broken. And so the reason this is one of the reasons why I have so many of these here is because if I broke, say I wanted to redo something, I would have to completely redo everything for each one, and I was not gonna do that. So like when it gets to the scene where he's like walking forward and it's like, like cool, but there's a reason why I don't show his legs and it's only his torso and it's walking backwards. There's also that spy, the Gralian spy is actually like right there. Um, let's see here. Let's see. Anything else that is worth? I think that's it for. What is this? Oh, this is him. This is him flipping the sunglasses over. I just made the hand thing that he does, but yeah. So every single piece of this was animated like separately in this room. Um, it is completely just utterly busted, and I hate working with SFM, but it's like the only thing that I can do. I mean, I'm not an animator at all, so I don't if someone sent me, it's like, oh, maybe you should port the models and then use Blender. I barely know what I'm doing in SFM. I'm gonna have no idea what I'm doing in Blender. At least on here I can import like animations that either and like tweak them, either that I made or someone else made. um so let's see here, MTT demo. I don't know. Oh, I think I was trying to have a demo as well, but I got rid of it. This, but that's something else. It might be door. Oh, I wanted, so in the MIB intro, there's a door that'll that the J and K walk through, and you can actually see something like it in Put Disengage. But I was gonna ask if anyone knew how to do it, but I had already asked so many questions in the SFM Discord. I didn't want to bother with them with another one. Um, I might as well open the car scene for you guys. So this car is also from the Steam Workshop. Shout out to whoever made it. I do not know. And I have one set animation. Also this map. I do not know who made this. I know I downloaded both of these off the workshop. And so these are individually toggleable, but the whole entire so you this actually doesn't have any light options. You can rotate them up, but if I wanted to have the lights, I have to manually add them and then attach them and then lock them to this model, which is why the lighting is so jank here. Like you can see that this is not perfect. Like it's off because it's not on that. What this is right here is actually a light. Here, let me see if I can find it. This light is like an inch away and is shooting right into it. And then like here, I'll even show you. Watch this. You know what I mean? So that's why you get some like light clipping basically into here. And then you also, because if I turn off all the lights, let's see here. Like the when you render this, it'll look really bad. But then there's different camera angles. I have one camera here. Let me go ahead and let me see if I can clip them. So I have one camera on there, one camera on the soldier, one camera on the side here, and one camera on the back. I didn't end up using or on the front. I didn't end up using one of these, but each clip I just kind of strung them together, and it's one animation just from different angles. So if I go ahead and I play it, right, there's no other car or no other soldier in here. So literally all it is, you know, those come up, the lights I have hidden, but they turn on, quote unquote, and then the car just goes forward, you know, it goes that way. It just goes right there, and then it stops because there's nowhere else to go. Um, but yeah, that's how I made that. It took me a long, long time to do that, and I've spent too much time on it, but I spent a lot of time on this video just animating. And if you ever see me on Discord, you can see that my status is suffering in SFM because SFM is just terrible. Well, I don't know how terrible it is compared to other animation software, but for me, it has not been great because there's so many problems. Things break all the time, um, or need like community overrides. Try to see, is there anything else I did? Let me check out. Nah, I think that's fine. I think that's about it for this. Let me go ahead and quit. Quit without saving. That way I don't mess with anything. I think that is all I need for now. Um, MVM. All right. Man up at 3 a.m. I think that's all I've done or I've needed for tonight. So I think that is going to be it. I'm gonna see if there's any comments that need to be replied to on the video. Uh, as you can see, this is me. um, so I think I am good. 100 views on the first day. That's pretty good for me. So I'm pretty happy about that. I was really salty about this. I only got 20 views on like the first week, and then it exploded to 500 views, and I'm really happy with that. Um, Not that I guess views really matter, but I think at this point where it's just like if I don't see the number go up, I feel bad, you know? Um, so I added some channels, and if any of you want to see, obviously this is the channel you're watching this on. Uh, so new this frag movie. The second half of this is literally just it's just this right here. Um, so these are my inspirations. If any of you guys are interested, there's Broccoli, who's just a friend of mine. But Uncle Dane, I love. Uncle Dane is probably the reason why I started. Actually, let me scratch the whole thing. Uncle Dane is the reason why I started making TF2 videos, basically. Um, so yeah, Funk, I love. I love his editing. Awesome Sauce is probably my favorite, just YouTuber in general. I love Mandalore and I love Racevic. There are more favorites that I have, but I just chose these because A, they are my favorites, and B, they're gaming related. I mostly watch tech content. I'm more like of a PC guy. Like I used to have like a. It doesn't matter. Point is so like gaming related content that you guys might enjoy. You can check these guys out. Broccoli is a TF2 player. He's my demo man this season. I know it's cut off here. I made this and it's like shitty, but he made a video on a guide to how to play Roamer. So good start. If any of you guys are interested in that. But yeah, so he just uploads clips, but I know he's gonna start making more TF2 like videos. So if you are interested in like especially Roamer competitive TF2, right there, I think that's it. So all right, have a good night, everyone, and I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna cut out that sneeze, and I will. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment, or you can send me an email or message me on Discord or whatever. Have a good night.